In the small desert village of Surajpura, where the wind carried whispers of old legends and the wells were deeper than anyone could measure, there lived an old farmer named Dharam Das. He was known throughout the village for two things: his vast fields of golden millet and his iron grip on every coin he earned. Dharam Das had worked hard all his life. From sunrise to sunset, he had tilled the land with cracked hands and a determined heart. Over the years, his harvests multiplied, his granaries overflowed, and his earnings grew into a fortune. Yet, despite his wealth, he never gave a single coin to charity. He trusted no one, not the villagers, not even his own family. He lived in a modest but sturdy mud-brick house with his wife, Kamala, and their two sons, Arjun and Kiran. Arjun, the elder, was calm and thoughtful, while Kiran was lively and warm-hearted. Unlike their father, both boys believed in sharing and helping others. Kamala often sighed at the tension in the house. She loved her husband, but could not understand why a man with so much would live as though he had nothing. One afternoon, while Kamala was kneading dough in the kitchen, she heard a strange, echoing sound from outside. "Where is that splashing coming from?" she muttered, wiping her hands on her sari. "It sounds like the well." She hurried out and froze in fear. Dharam Das was climbing out of the old stone well in the courtyard, his clothes wet and muddy. "What were you doing in the well?" Kamala cried. "Did you slip and fall? Thank the heavens you came out safely." Dharam Das brushed her off. "Don't be foolish. I didn't fall. I climbed down myself." "Climbed down? Why would you do that?" He hesitated, then spoke in a lowered voice. "A wandering sage told me that there is treasure hidden somewhere in my house. He said if I give him 100 rupees, he would reveal its location." Kamala stared at him. "And did you give him the money?" "Of course not," he snapped. "Why should I waste 100 rupees on a stranger's words? I searched the house myself. I turned everything upside down. When I found nothing inside, I thought maybe the treasure was hidden in the well. In old times, people hid valuables there." Kamala looked around at the chaos in the courtyard, utensils scattered, trunks opened, blankets thrown aside. "All this mess is because of your suspicion?" Just then, Arjun and Kiran came running. "Father, we found something in the well."
They held up 5 small silver spoons and 2 larger brass ones. Dharam Das's eyes widened. "See, I told you there was treasure." Kiran laughed softly. "If you had given the sage 100 rupees, he might have told you clearly. Now you nearly drowned for a few spoons." Dharam Das ignored him, clutching the spoons as though they were gold. Days passed and life returned to routine. Arjun and Kiran took sacks of grain to the nearby town to sell. On one such trip, they earned 10,000 rupees. As they walked back home, Kiran whispered, "Let's keep 2,000 for ourselves. Father will hide the rest anyway." Arjun hesitated but agreed. When they reached home, they handed the remaining money to Dharam Das. He counted every note twice. "The prices seem low," he muttered suspiciously. "Ask the merchants yourself if you doubt us," Arjun replied calmly. Kamala intervened. "Let the boys eat first. They've been working since dawn." Time moved on. Their neighbor's son, Rohan, announced his wedding. He invited Arjun and Kiran personally. "You must come," he said cheerfully. "It won't be the same without you." After he left, Kiran sighed. "Everyone our age is getting married." Arjun nodded. "Father rejects every proposal that comes. Either the dowry is too small or the family isn't rich enough." That evening, Kamala confronted Dharam Das. "How long will you delay their marriages? Rohan is younger than them and already marrying." "Marriage means expenses," Dharam Das replied coldly. "Wives bring children. Children bring more costs. We will wait." Kamala shook her head in despair. That night, while everyone slept, Dharam Das crept outside with a heavy iron box. He dug near the large neem tree in front of the house and buried the box filled with cash, his secret savings amounting to 1 lakh rupees. Then he returned quietly to bed. The next morning, Arjun asked Father, "Father, Rohan's wedding is tomorrow. We need new clothes. Could you give us some money?" Dharam Das tossed them 50 rupees. "This is enough." "50?" Kiran exclaimed. "Even a shirt costs more." "Take it or leave it," Dharam Das said. Before the wedding day arrived, tragedy struck. Early one morning, Kamala tried to wake her husband, but he did not respond. His face was pale, his body still. Arjun checked his pulse and stepped back in shock. "Mother, he's gone!" The house filled with cries. Relatives gathered. Rituals were performed. But Dharam Das was not at peace. He found himself standing beside his own lifeless body. 2 towering figures, dressed in dark robes, appeared before him. "Dharam Das, your time on earth is over," one of them said firmly. "No," Dharam Das protested. "I have money hidden. I must tell my family." "You cannot take anything with you," the second figure replied. "Not even the body you called your own." "My hard-earned wealth," he cried. "At least let me tell them where it is." "You may try, but the living cannot hear the dead." Desperate, Dharam Das shouted at Kamala, at Arjun, at Kiran. He told them about the neem tree and the iron box, but no sound reached their ears. His spirit lingered in frustration. Days turned into weeks. Without access to the hidden money, a family struggled. Marriage proposals slipped away because they had no visible savings. Meanwhile, a stray brown dog began appearing near their house. It barked endlessly near the neem tree. The villagers complained. One day, as Arjun prepared to leave to meet a potential bride's family, the dog barked furiously again. Kiran picked up a stick. "This creature is driving us mad." But Kamala stopped him. "Don't hurt it. Perhaps it's hungry." She placed a bowl of leftover bread outside. The dog ate quickly, then ran to the neem tree and scratched the ground. Strangely, it kept returning to that spot. Around this time, a wandering storyteller named Bhairav arrived in the village. He was known for his wisdom and mysterious insight into people's lives. Watching the dog's behavior, he chuckled softly. "Some souls," he said aloud, though no one listened closely, "love their wealth more than their peace." One stormy night, heavy winds swept across Surajpura. Lightning cracked the sky. The old neem tree, weakened by age, finally gave way and crashed to the ground. The next morning, Arjun stepped outside and saw the uprooted tree. Beneath the tangled roots, something metallic glinted. He ran forward and dug into the mud. His hand struck an iron box. "Kiran, mother, come quickly." They pried it open. Inside were bundles of carefully wrapped currency notes. Kamala gasped. "This must be your father's secret savings." Kiran stared in disbelief. "All this time we struggled while this lay buried." At that very moment, the brown dog sat quietly nearby, watching. For the first time, it did not bark. Invisible to them, Dharam Das's spirit felt a wave of relief. "At last," he whispered, "they have found it." Bhairav, the storyteller, approached slowly. "Wealth is a strange master," he said gently. "If you serve it wisely, it serves you. If you worship it blindly, it enslaves you, even beyond death." Arjun looked thoughtful. "We will use this money for good, for my marriage, for Kiran's, and to repair the well so the whole village can use it." Kamala nodded. "And we will give some to those in need. Your father worked hard for it, but perhaps he forgot why he worked so hard." As they carried the box inside, the brown dog stood up. For the briefest moment,
Its eyes seemed almost human, filled with gratitude and release. Then it turned and walked down the dusty road, disappearing beyond the dunes. Dharam Das's spirit, freed from its attachment, felt lighter than it had ever felt in life. The dark-robed figures reappeared. "Are you ready now?" they asked. This time he nodded. Behind him, Surajpura continued its rhythm of life: weddings, harvests, laughter, and sharing. Arjun and Kiran married kind-hearted women. The well was repaired and made public for all villagers. A portion of the hidden wealth built a small school near the fields, something Dharam Das would never have imagined funding. And in the evenings, when the sun dipped below the horizon, Bhairav, the storyteller, would sit beneath the sky and tell children a story, not of a greedy man, but of a man who learned, even after death, that wealth kept hidden in the ground grows nothing, but wealth shared grows hearts. In time, the villagers remembered Dharam Das not for his miserliness, but for the change his family brought after him. And somewhere, in a realm beyond sight, a once stubborn farmer finally understood that the greatest treasure he could have left behind was not money buried beneath a tree, but kindness planted in the lives of others.